Hey guys, and welcome back to Harry Shoots People. Today we're in the woods with Maya and the dogs, and basically on the last shoot that I did, the RB maybe broke, so we're gonna go test it. But as like a side exercise, I wanted to see if I could create some more sort of surreal and a bit more fun portraits. So we're just gonna head out into like a fairly open field and try out a couple of things like that. So yeah, let's go. Basically, what I think was wrong with the RB last time was that I left it in mirror up mode rather than just regular. So I've switched that back now, and we're going to shoot this entire roll on regular mode and see if that fixes it. Here's a picture of what happened last time, but we were shooting on 1/400th of a second, so clearly there was something wrong with the mirror, as you just get those dragging marks throughout the entire thing. So yeah, we'll hope this actually comes out and the RB is working, otherwise that's a very expensive fix. Okay guys, so we're here at our location, random field. Gonna load the 400 Tri-X into the back of the RB, and we're gonna do some multiple exposure stuff, so we'll get a little more than 10 shots coming off. Let's go. So for the first photo we're doing, we're going to take a picture of both of us, basically using the multiple exposure mode. So I'm going to frame up with Maya in the scene now, take that picture, and then swap over and she can take the one of me, and hopefully it should result in one picture of the two of us, both half there. So this switch here is going to be the most important part of today. Switch over to red, hopefully I've done that right. And that should hopefully just keep the same frame in place. Fingers crossed. Unfortunately, as I was explaining what went wrong here, it would appear as though the wind had other plans. Unfortunately, the multiple exposure mode on the RB doesn't stop you from winding on the film an extra time. It just holds that frame in place. So I accidentally loaded onto the next frame when I shouldn't have. I should have just left it there. But knowing that for next time, we'll try again. And this one ended up coming out great. I'm a really big fan of this photo. I like how sort of ghost-like we both look. Obviously only being exposed one time each. And with the background being a bit blurry, it kind of adds to the sort of surreal, dreamlike nature of this photo, which I really like too. So the next idea for a shot is going to be the RB here, and then I'm sort of going to run from there all the way up and past the camera. And the camera's currently on f32, 1/60th of a second, and hopefully we're just going to multiple expose me, just moving all the way up to the camera, and we'll see if this actually comes out. Okay, so I think the plan for this shoot is to maybe have Maya in the lower half of the frame, for Billy and Ollie to leave me alone. Maya in the lower half of the frame, and then double expose it with potentially like a jump or, or something of that ilk. Not quite sure yet. I think it just looks good as a picture, so we shall see. Okay, now we've got the first half of that image, we're going to go to our 33mm lens so we can get the wider shot of Maya jumping. Or maybe me jumping, we'll see. Okay, right, 3, 2, 1. This image in particular I'm a really big fan of, despite how kind of goofy it is. I really like the slight overlap between the two images, where it's almost just Maya's eyes and some of her face that get exposed properly between the two frames, and I think changing the lenses in between the two shoots also really helps give that difference in perspective. Granted, I look a bit ridiculous, but it was a fun image. And then, since the light and the framing was really nice, I took this off-the-cuff portrait of Maya, which I'm just a really big fan of. I really like the negative space in this image, particularly all of that excess room at the top. And since the majority of the background is so far away, you get that nice drop off between the subject and the background. Like I said before, we decided to take some just kind of regular, more traditional style portraits here, and I'm a really big fan of this second one here. Since we were waiting for so long for the wind to stop blowing, it allowed Maya to kind of relax and almost forget that she was having a picture taken, which gives it this nice sort of impromptu, off-the-cuff feel. And I really like the direct mode of address here too. These are the kind of photos that you can only really get, I think, when you have a longer time with your subject to photograph and really allow them to relax, which is where I think that medium format look comes into play too, where it takes almost so long to set up the camera, and the almost novel aspect of it too, and the time it takes just allows your subject to relax, and it gives you a better relationship between yourself, them and the camera. At this point we were getting pretty battered by the wind, and it was kind of difficult to take these more traditional portraits. So I decided to show Maya this photo from Pinterest that we've been looking at before, where this woman's face is obscured by her hair, and I thought, using the wind to our advantage, it can make for quite a nice photo. So we decided to try and go for something like that, and again it'd add to that sort of surreal nature this shoot was trying to have. And for the last two shots of the roll, I took this portrait of Maya and her dog, which I'm a really big fan of. I definitely could have shot this more in the light, but working with an animal, just have to take what you can get. And then for the last shot of the shoot, I decided to let Maya take control of the camera, and she took this picture of me, which is annoyingly really good. And that's a wrap. Okay, so that was the shoot all done and finished now. It went pretty well. Those last couple of frames, I managed to take two more portraits of Maya, one of me, and one more of Maya and the dog. So hopefully those all come out quite nice. Shooting around the f11 to f16 range. Kind of run out of ideas for surreal portraits, so we just started shooting regularly. Like I say, just wanted to test out that lens and also check that the RB was working still. So we're going to go drop it off, and hopefully in 2 to 4 days we'll find out if it's actually working. Fingers crossed. And luckily, crossing our fingers worked, as I'm a really big fan of this shoot. We definitely could have leaned into the surreal aspect of it more, but I'm pretty happy with it for just a first try as well. I'd really like to do more stuff like this in the future and sort of manipulate what is possible to shoot on film. And as for the more traditional portraits, I'm still a really big fan of these. I feel like every single shoot I do with the RB, I keep producing better and better work with it, which makes me want to produce more and more work, especially more elaborate and planned out stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you did, drop a like and maybe even comment what your favourite picture was. And if you'd like to see more of my photography, please consider subscribing.
Thank you for watching.